G'day Bomber fans, we have probably our most important game of the year coming up. We win this and we are likely to be finals bound. We lose and the Dogs are likely to be finals bound. If we thought that Adelaide game was a mini elimination final, this is a bloody grand final for us. The Bombers and the Dogs are playing for a spot in the 8. It will be a big week, so a big preview. Before we start though, we have some votes to get through from the Geelong disaster class. I don't want to talk about that game too much. Here are the votes. It seems we both agreed that Hobbs was the only real positive in terms of performance. Nick Bryan did get quite a few votes from you guys as well though, which is pretty cool for a guy who has struggled to cement his spot in the AFL team. The overall tally has Hobbs entering the 10 at the expense of Sam Draper, but aside from that, not much change. Merritt's still on top. Keep up the votes, it's been a good count so far. So Friday night footy, first time for us all year, Marvel Stadium, 2 top 8 teams in a really even season. There is a chance if we lose this game, we drop to 13th spot if we lose as badly as we did against Geelong. There is also a chance if we win, we jump to 5th. That is how much is at stake. 13th is really unlikely, but I wanted to paint a picture mathematically. This game is the difference between 5th and 13th spot, so it's crucial for whichever team wants to make the 8, and I think that's what will be the big difference, what team wants it more. This whole year, Brad Scott has been talking about the process and the future. He has said no matter the result that finals is not the expectation, that this season is developmental, but now as fans and a club, we have to start thinking about September because it is possible. For the Dogs, it's expected. They miss finals, their coach could lose his job. The Dogs will be hungry to prove a point, but so will we. We just got belted by Geelong. It was a wake-up call, but it doesn't need to end our season. This is a great test of maturity and resolve, how we respond to a brutal loss. And because of that, I think the start will be really important. As we saw against the Cats, you start poorly, you lose. We were never coming back after kicking 1 point in the first term. It's where games can be won and lost, especially in a game with stakes this high for both teams. One team will set the tone come Friday night, and if we want to win, I think it needs to be us. That first quarter is going to be hot. The Dogs are a good team though. They have had some hard-fought losses in recent weeks, but they are a good side. They use the ball really well in most zones. They play fast. They can score fast if they like. They have some really dangerous A-listers, but also some hard-working fringe players and unknowns that can genuinely change a game as well. In defense, it's all about ball use for them. Bailey Dale, Ed Richards, Caleb Daniel, if he is thrown down there. They have players that under pressure use the ball exceptionally well. They are a frustrating team to play sometimes because no matter how hard you press them, they can find an outlet. They can find that kick to give them the space they need to progress the ball forward down the field. Both our defenses are pretty strong in that regard. Their midfield though, it's a bit different to ours. They have hybrid players like Bontempelli and McRae. They can win the ball, their own ball like Parrish, and use it as well as Merritt. And then you got Tom Liberatore, who is going to instill fear into the young mids we have. He goes at it really hard. Bailey Smith should be back from his week off. Adam Treloar is still around. Tim English, best ruckman in the league. Phillips will have a big role on him. And their wingers, I think Bailey Williams is underrated, so whoever he is going on is going to have their work cut out for them. Their midfield is definitely looking better than ours is on paper. The forward line, on the other hand, not so much. Norton and Jamari Ugle-Hagan are great at their best. Waitman is a little pest. It's a forward line with names, but not the function you would find with better teams. They aren't as stable as Geelong or Port Adelaide or Brisbane. If Laverty is fit, I think we can stop them from potentially blowing a game out, but that's our opponent. How do we win this game of footy? Well, it starts in the midfield. We are one of the worst clearance teams. They are one of the best. Centre clearances are important for us, giving our defenders a chance to defend. We saw how hard it can be against Collingwood on Anzac Day when we lose repeat clearances. But stoppage clearances, I've said it all year, I hate watching ball ups around the ground because they result in the other team gaining possession. We are the worst stoppage clearance team in the league, and they are the best. The good news is we defend them fairly well around the ground, so that's what we have to do. I don't think we are going to be able to win the clearance battle against their engine room, but if we can defend from it, I think it goes a long way. On Etihad, a ground we have won every game on this year, we need to bring pace on the ball, overwhelm them like we did against the Crows, like we did against the Suns in that last term. We can be near impossible to defend with our fast ball movement from defence, and we can be frustrating to manage with our slow defensive uncontested marking transition play. We will probably be playing this game out of defence a lot. We will be prepared to, so we need to make sure we actually manage to generate sizable possession that results in territory. And once the ball is in our forward half, we need to make sure we don't let Bailey Dale get it and destroy us. I think he is down on form this year a tad, but him and Richards at their best are just annoying, so forward pressure is important. Menzies, Snelling, Guelphy, Stringer, whoever is playing, maybe Davey, someone needs to be with Dale so they can't use the ball effectively out of defence. I think he is one to watch. If he gets his hand on the ball 25 to 30 times, he is giving them 15 to 20 chances down the line. That's how I see it. Our key forwards, Peter Wright and whoever joins him, I don't know if it will be Sam Wiedemann or not, but they could have a serious impact. I know Wiedemann has had little to no impact impact these last few months, but I think this is a game that could almost turn it around a bit if he does play. We saw how promising he was for us early in the year. He is down on confidence, and Geelong's key defensive stocks, the Bulldogs' key defensive stocks are not that hot. Alex Keith and Ryan Gardner, these are defenders that could struggle to keep Peter Wright down, or other forwards for that matter. This isn't Geelong. These defenders can't kill the game as well as they do. This is the Doggies' weakest spot, especially without Liam Jones, who was in All-Australian form until his unfortunate injury. The Bulldogs are capable of crumbling. I can't remember a team that folds as hard as they do under the pressure of a goal-scoring surge. It almost stems from that 2021 grand final when Melbourne just went ballistic on them in the third quarter, I think, but we see it a lot with the Dogs. I watch almost all of their games because they are the team my family goes for. I have a soft spot for them because of that, but on a few occasions this year, they have been killed as soon as their opponent gets momentum. That third quarter against Collingwood springs to mind, that second half against the Saints, and I think it shows with their quarters one stat. They have won just one less term than Port Adelaide this season, but have lost 5 more games. It's because they let teams kill them in small time spaces. That is something we can do. We did it against Carlton, we did it against Adelaide, we can do it against the Dogs. Our disposal efficiency is going to be crucial, out of defence especially. It's where we score our goals. They apply good forward pressure, so Redman, Ridley, McGrath, these are the players that will need to, as they've done all year, handle the pressure. If we score, it will be from defence, so these players are arguably our most important. The link from defence to midfield, from midfield to forward, it's going to be as crucial as it has been all year. Danger players for the Dogs, too many to name. Dale, Richards, Norton, Ugle-Hagan, Bont, Treloar, Liberatore, Smith, English. I'm probably missing a bunch. I want to highlight their wingers though, Poulter and Williams. They don't get enough credit, and Cody Waitman, he will be important for them as well. Speaking of players, team news, or possible team news, starting with the Dogs, young O'Donnell is out with a concussion. Sam Darcy had a corky. I think he should be okay though. We should see Bailey Smith come back into the team after his illness. Aside from that, there's not too much, I don't think, unless I'm missing someone out. For us, Laverty is the big worry. If he is injured, we will bring Kane Baldwin into the team. That's the only real injury worry. We could make some unforced changes though. Wiedemann out for Voss or Cox is possible. Andrew Phillips will return from suspension. Elijah Sartas is pounding down the door after another good VFL performance. Davey has been good in the VFL too, so as well as Mass. So there are lots of options for us. So will we win this game of footy? We can. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be a tight contest, but I am tipping the Dogs. I think they are just slightly above us in quality and have more to prove. I would love to be proven wrong. If we win this, I would gladly take that, but I don't think we will. I think they are just too strong in the engine room, too strong with ball in hand. We can overrun them, but I think they get the job done by 15 points. So that is that video done, but we got Manscaped. Yes, I know it's what you've been waiting for. Who cares about the preview? It's all about body grooming gear, and with Manscaped, you can get the best. And with me, you can save 20% off and free shipping. Just head over to manscaped.com, enter the discount code EVERYTHINGEssendon20, and you get 20% off plus free shipping. Cheers, Dons fans.